21st of January 25, and I've finished my firewood for the year. It's all logged up. This is where I kept it, and this stack was higher than the break. And the whole of this with some pretty heavy duty. You can see the hole there. End stakes on it, and it was all hazel. And you can see where I've stacked it. We've got a camber on it, shed water, and this is to stop water coming out from the ground. And there was that tarp and another tarp over the top. Keep the water off, because the idea is that you season it in the wood, then bring it back here at the end of the summer before the weather breaks, and then keep it under cover. And you can see how dry the bearers are. This was there, holding this up, and this was on the top to hold the tarp down. That's a bearer, that's a bearer, that's a foreigner that was around somewhere. That was one of the ends, and this one here was a bearer. And I'll show you what the result is in a minute. But this is now 3 years old. It's coming to the end of its life. You can see where the chainsaw's eroded into it. And this is currently loose. This is mobile. That's basically what holds it up. You see it? And there's a video on the channel. And that tarp there was down there with another tarp over the back, which is a shaving horse. And that's the chainsaw that cut it. That's the axe that split some of the bits that do need cutting or splitting. Now that's me splitting block, horrible gnarly bit, which I couldn't split anyway even if I wanted to. And you can see, because everything's seasoned when I cut it, I basically used the tarp on there to stop the sawdust building up, and then I burn the sawdust because that's seasoned as well, so you might as well. And there's a video on the channel which shows how I do it. Stuff on the right here is the second rate stuff. This stuff on the left is a bit of ash that was hanging about, and this is the stuff which is the same age as this stuff. You can see how it's spalted. And some of these are even worse, like that one. Let's go and have a look at the best stuff. That stuff in there is what I burn. Get it nice and dry, and the stuff on the right is nice and dry. Burning some at the moment because it's about 4 degrees C out today. Left one of those two is mine. And you can see, even though it's roaring in there, it's not putting out very much smoke. And here's the good stuff. That's in here. Right, let's take this crap out and come back. So this is the good stuff. This has been down a year. Basically was cut last April or March through till early April. And it's hazel, and it's 50-year derelict material, and you can see some of it split and that, but not a lot. I like this because you don't have to split this. Season it in the wood, in a cord, in the round, and you can see this is well under 20%, but not much of it is checked because it's left in 5-foot lengths. This is the end of the length. This was brought back here last October before the weather broke, kept under cover, but to weigh the tarpaulin down, the wibbly wobbly bits were used on the top, and these have sat out all winter. So you go from that in a year at the end of October, and if you leave it out, it goes like that. That's well spalted, and this is pretty heavy because it re-wets, and when it re-wets, fungi could get in there and start to decompose it. And you can see the end of this length, so you've got fungal fruiting body there. See it scraping off. So people who say that you should leave your firewood out for 2 years minimum are talking through their hat. It depends the conditions in which you keep it. You need good airflow, you need to be covered from rain so it doesn't re-wet, so that all the sun that gets basically dries it. Don't allow it to go re-wet. Well, this will happen when sporting starts happening. Fungi get in, these are fungi, and they start to decompose it, and the decomposition process releases CO2 and creates water, and it removes the firewood value, the heating value, the fuel value of the wood. Wood will decline, or it will decline as value as firewood, and you can see some of these have just started to spalt. This is hazel, this is a hardwood, it's a fairly dense wood, and it has excellent calorific value when prepared properly for burning. So that's the end of my firewood for this year. That's all that's left. Should keep me going through till March. No worries.